especially as women, like the power of our intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're given this gift for a reason,
Yeah.
and like if we just listen quietly enough to hear and answer our own selves.
Yeah. And follow our own inner guidance.
Yeah. The power of writing things out and just like trusting that the answers will come through writing.
So I want everyone to like tell us like when we had a gut feeling about something and it came true.
Something that I've been thinking about a lot, like how life's always happening for us, right? No matter what the situation, it's always because I had a couple of like annoying things happen to me the last couple of days, like Mercury's in retrograde, whatever. I'll blame it on the stars, but like I felt like I was swimming upstream. Like I lost my keys. I had to it was just like I was just doing too much and getting confused and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I really believe that, even like I do think that good or bad or ugly, like it's always happening for us. Like I try to take that with the situations. It's hard going into it that like when you're in it, but
Mm-hmm.
once you like get rid of all the emotional like turmoil of the situation, you kind of like you're a little bit set back from it. And
Mm-hmm.
then think, okay, how has this actually benefited me? Or how did
Yeah.
this situation, like, how is it working for me?
Right.
Life is happening for us. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. And I just wanted to say that because sometimes when we know something's bad for us or wrong and we keep going along with it, it's like, even if it seems scary or it seems hard or it seems like it's going to give you discomfort, like it's not going to be as bad as it will be if you say get on the motorcycle anyway and you don't say like to your boyfriend, hey, like something's wrong, like, and then you get in a fucking accident or something terrible happens.
Yeah. I mean, if we would have had a blowout on the highway, we could have both died.
It's like that song, you can't always get what you want,
But if
you
we
try
try
to
to
get
just
what you need. And that's, spiritual growth. And when it comes to discerning which path is the right path to take, we let go of trying to control the answers that come to us. We don't try to force things to go the way we think they should. And that's powerful. We give up trying to fit the square pegs into round holes. We let go. We don't force things. Instead, we yield ourselves, trusting that even if we don't like what we hear, we are safe to surrender to the larger context of our lives, trusting ultimately that all is well. And herein lies inner peace. So simple, but you know more than you think you do. Way to combat. It's kind of like shadow work. It is shadow work, but I love they make it spiritual and it's this book is beautiful because it opens up the truth of like she talks about God all the time, but this is shadow work, like
What,
talking to higher
you
beings.
touch on what shadow work is? Because
It's fairly new to me as well, but it's a practice that has been so powerful for me. So basically shadow work, in my opinion, what I've learned so far is like when you have like a limiting belief or something that's really bothering you, or say a negative opinion about yourself or an action, and then you write it out, but then you combat it with the true you, the soul, right? Because your ego is the one who's going to talk shit about yourself. The ego is going to be the one who's going to, make these fears legit. But if you do the shadow work where you're literally writing down your soulful self, the person who's the real you, and combat those beliefs, you may really sit there and think of these things that are so mean about yourself or so debilitating to make you go to the next level with something. But then when you show up as the soul and you write, it's you. It's a different side of your personality that kind of combats that thought. It's kind of like, what we're doing here with this. It's like, God's answering the concern.
right.
It's pretty new to me too, but I just remember doing it and being like, wow, that helped so much.
Cool.
I'm going to say it 1,000 times, like getting it out on paper, because we let these things play over and over in our monkey brains, and we don't even realize how much time we're wasting on thinking about these things that A, are probably not even true, B, are not serving anybody. So like writing it out and fighting it on paper is like, it works.
Soulful self kind of overwrites the negative self.
Yeah. And I just made that up. That's my own words. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
If you could look into it more. I don't even know if I'm 100% accurate, but that's what helped me.
Really amazing. Oh my gosh. You're saying in that book. It's
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's so thoughtful and helpful. Love it.
So anyways, we're talking about how do we access our intuition. So it's kind of like I wrote on the side after reading this page, it's kind of like rewiring your intuition by writing letters to God and thus him writing them back to you. So it's kind of like programming that intuition where you're figuring out a way how to access it and then making it like natural, like working that muscle almost in a way where then it just starts coming to you innately and you don't have to work at it. So that you can do this. And
it's a small little habit that could like drastically change your life forever.
Right.
And just like the depth of wisdom that you tap into, and you know, like it's like you're not like in the past, you know, even in the last couple of pages, they talk about how we would go to people and ask for advice, and it's like, and sometimes you don't give them the whole, like you could be totally real, raw, like honest with like every little, if it's small, big, whatever it is, you write it out. You know, it's journaling. It's like, and then you ask for guidance and you answer. It's just, yeah, I feel like it's one of those things. It's like, for me, like I know how powerful it is, how healing it is, how good it is, but I have to keep reminding myself. And that's why it's good to do this book stuff and like do these masterminds, because it keeps you accountable to like continue to do the work. Because I forgot about it, honestly, till this.
Yeah, and I never knew like that writing was so powerful with like manifestation too. Things that come up that you just can't deny, that you just almost like
you can't even explain.
Yeah.
And you just know that inner knowingness. Rely more upon the inherent wealth. We have so much information and wisdom within us. And it's literally there, like waiting, like I said with the example with the angels, like just waiting to be answered. Waiting to be asked, waiting to write yourself back, or whatever your belief is, what comes through you with that. And hey, maybe it doesn't work for you. Like my mind went into, yeah, right, okay, I'm gonna like, but like, no, we'll see what comes up for you.
Yeah.
You know,
just try it. You don't have anything to lose.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So the practice is basically we want to invite you to access a higher level of your own awareness through writing your own letter. In your letter, write about the situations in your life that are difficult and challenging for you. Start by sorting through some of the feelings you are having, and then move into specific questions that you have. So I started doing that, and like I really started with the feelings, because it says start sorting through the feelings that you're having, and then what's coming up, like how is this becoming challenging for you, or how is this difficult for you because of these feelings out first, and then kind of pinpoint from those feelings, okay, what are the questions that you have based on these? Yeah.
And quality of life is based on the questions you ask yourself, right? Scary sometimes, because like I was going through some things, and I'm like, sometimes like, do we really want the answer? Because not what we want to hear.
Yeah, it's true. Sheesh. I don't know why. The point is to access a level of consciousness that is beyond our everyday normal awareness. If you go throughout the day, practice going within and asking for guidance. Practice with the seemingly small decisions, such as what to wear or how to prioritize your tasks. This will allow you to get comfortable with the process, so that when the big choices need to be made, such as who to open your heart up to and who to begin a sexual relationship with, you are already familiar with how to ask, listen, and act upon your inner urgings.